Okay, so now we're going to go on to completely finishing our pieces. You do have a couple options. If you want to keep your solder shiny, that silver, bright silver color, then you're going to use a polishing pad to just seal it up and make sure that it doesn't patina itself, because over time it will tarnish and change colors. If you want to darken it or change the color of your solder, then you're going to use patina. And what that does is it just changes the color of the solder. It darkens it. In this case, in the black patina that we're going to be using, it changes the solder to be darker. You can either brush it on or dip it into a bowl of the patina. Then you dry with paper towel, and you can steel wool it if you want to take back the dark, if you want to soften it up a bit, and then you're going to use a polish pad then to seal. So let me go ahead and show you what this looks like. So, okay, when I patina, I purposefully set myself up with a little patina station. I just have this little tray. It's metal. It's from the dollar store. Literally, it was $1. And I just throw one of those t-shirt rags on top of it, because if I get anything wet, I'd rather the towel soak it up. I have a large bowl for when I do a bunch of pieces and I dip them. You can see it's messy and dirty. Once you use patina in a bowl, you don't want to use this for any kind of food or anything else. So I don't even clean it out. I wipe it out when I'm done because I need to dry it, but I don't clean it because there's really no point. If you're doing a small amount, I suggest getting yourself some of these little cups. They are on Amazon. They are for taking pills. They don't need to be measured at all. Sometimes you can find them with measurements on them. You don't need that. You just need the little cups to pour your patina in. And then what I use is a Q-tip to apply the patina, mostly because, again, once you use something, you can't use it for anything else. And brushes, I used to use plastic like watercolor brushes, kids watercolor brushes from the dollar store, but the thing is that they don't really hold the patina very well because they're plastic bristles, so you actually have to use a real brush, and I don't want to ruin a real brush with patina. So this is Novacan black patina, again available through Robin on her website. You can also usually find it on Amazon, just kind of depends. And this is a, let's see, 8-ounce bottle, and it cost me about $8.50. So that's pretty good. And it goes far. It goes really far. So for these two little pieces that I'm showing you, I'm not even going to use all that much. I'm going to take my cup and I'm just going to pour. Oh, that's even way too much. Pour some back. You're seeing me do this, and I'm going to tell you never do that. Once you've used your patina, you're going to see right now it's this blue, almost mouthwash color. It's going to start to change colors as soon as I start using it, and you cannot reuse it. Once it's used, it's spent. Do not pour it back into your bottle. It will contaminate the whole bottle. You just want to throw it away, and I'll show you the best way that I've found to do that. So I need a paper towel, but I don't have any right here, so I'm going to use this towel, and that's okay too. All I'm going to do, I'm going to take this pendant and do it because it's really rough. Like, can you see on the bottom? Like, this is not my best work. It's just not. Like, that bottom is really chewed up, and I should have gone back and fixed it, and I chose not to. So this is a good piece to patina because then you can kind of see how it cleans up your sins without having to go back and solder. So I'm literally just dipping into my patina with my Q-tip, and I'm coming back over, and you'll be able to see the magic happen. It's instantaneous. As soon as you get it dark, or as soon as you get it wet, it darkens right up. Now it's going to get pretty black because this is Novacan black patina, and they make patina in different colors. But for this class, we're just using the black. And when my metal stops changing color, I just pick up a little bit more patina. Don't forget to go, you want to do your sides and then the face and the back, and get all of the edges. You also want to get your jump ring. it should change a little bit. It's not going to change. It's not going to get as dark as the rest of your piece. I also take my Q-tip and I put it inside there because otherwise your silver solder under your jump ring where the hole is isn't going to darken. So do whatever you have to do to get this completely covered. Oh, and I strongly suggest using gloves. I know I'm not, but I strongly suggest wearing gloves when you're doing this part, especially if you're doing a bunch of pieces, because you can get a chemical burn on your skin when you use this stuff if you use it a ton and you don't wear gloves. So I finished putting it on. Finish. And yeah, I got it. Okay. So now I'm going to take my, oh wait, I missed a spot. There you go. Now I'm going to take my t-shirt rag, and you can use just regular shop towel as well. Doesn't matter. But this is what I have. So I'm just going to, it's wet, obviously. So now I'm going to dry it off. No, it's not. The patina is not coming off of the piece just because I'm cleaning it or drying it. Doesn't mean that it's coming off. And you'll be able to see. See, it's nice and dark now compared to this one that's still silver. I'm seeing a little bit of silver right there. Maybe it was just wet. Yeah, it was just wet. That little spot up there is also just wet. Any reflection that you see that looks silver is just a reflection. It's not actually silver. So the whole thing is black now. Now I can leave it like this. And if I choose to leave it this dark, then I'm going to come in with a polishing pad. I needed to grab my polishing pad. It had dropped on the floor and I couldn't find it. So once I've gone through and patinaed, what I do is I come back and usually knock the darkness back a little bit with more steel wool. So what I'm going to do, I just did this whole segment without taping it. Right. I'm going to come back and I'm going to darken part of this again so that I can show you the process and show you how different it looks with patina and without. Okay, so put your patina on and I'm going to wipe it clean, not clean, but dry because it's wet. And let me show you the difference between, do you see? That's patina. This is no patina. So this gets real dark. To seal this, what you want to do is come back with a polishing pad. Now, I buy these on riogrande.com and I will post a link to you guys so that you can buy them. They are impregnated with polish, which means when I use them, the polish comes off the pad and goes onto the piece, as opposed to having like a liquid polish or whatever that you wipe on. Especially with patina, if you start applying a liquid polish or whatever to it, that patina is going to come off. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. And so if you want to maintain that dark coloring, you want to make sure that you're using a polishing pad as opposed to something that's liquid. So what I've already done is I've come through and I've patinaed the whole rest of this particular piece. So you can kind of get a feel for, if I can get it so that you can see, compared to this is unpatinaed. And this one has patina. So I like to sand mine back. I use my steel wool and I sand it back until I get to the color that I like. And the good news about patina is that if you get it too light and you want to add more, as long as you haven't sealed it, you can do that. So you can keep playing with it to get exactly the color you want. So I just sanded it and I'm coming back with my clean t-shirt and I'm going to clean all that off. So now it's got patina on it, and it's hard to tell when you don't have a piece right next to it that's regular silver, but when you do it, and I do suggest that you do it at least on one piece, you'll definitely see a difference. And this is why I like this, because here there's this like extra little run-on dot of solder that I didn't clean up. And across the bottom of this one, it's kind of ragged. This piece needed touching up and I forgot to do it. So instead of trying to hide that or going back and redoing the solder and potentially ruining the whole thing, you add that patina and then it makes it look like it's intended all of those bumps and ridges and everything are part of the piece that you meant to do it. They also look at this point now like it's aged. It's an antique piece or a vintage piece as opposed to something you just made. Now that works for me for my style. That might not work for you for your style, and that's okay. But this works for me. And like I said, it covers up, I don't want to say it covers up mistakes. What it does is highlight the mistakes, but that's good because it makes it look intentional then as opposed to trying to hide them. If you try and hide them, you're not going to be able to. But if you intentionally bring them out, they'll look better. It's weird, right? So once I've patinaed and I've gone ahead and used my steel wool and knocked back that darkness, I'm going to come back with a polishing pad. And this is all you do. You can use both sides, which is great. So I usually use mine until they're pitch black on both sides. And all you do is come in and you're going to make sure again to do the sides and the face on the front and the back too, all of the solder. And you're just rubbing to rub that polish on there. Okay. And that's really all there is to it. Very important that if you use patina, you do want to seal or polish your pieces because this patina over time will come off onto your clothes or onto your skin. I learned that the hard way. I was wearing a white t-shirt once and had forgotten to seal one of my pieces. And I got a bunch of black patina right here. It wasn't like a ton of it, but it was enough to make the shirt dark and I couldn't get it out, which is no fun. So definitely want to seal that patina if you choose to use it. If you don't choose to use patina, if you want to use it just straight up, like this is silver, it's done, then I still come back with a polishing pad to make sure it's good and shiny. And I don't necessarily have to steel wool it, although if it's dull in any places, I will come in with the steel wool to remove anything that might be there causing the dullness. Because like I said before, sometimes if you aren't able to get all your flux off, that could be why your solder isn't shiny. And as you know now, it leads to rust and we don't want that. So come back with the polishing pad. And again, you're going to do all of the sides and faces and make it nice and shiny and clean. And if you want to take it to the next level, especially with your patinaed pieces, I recommend a product called Renaissance Wax. It is a wax that is used by museums to help preserve the artifacts and relics that they have at the museum. So it's a really good quality. You basically take your clean towel, get a little bit on it. I stuck my finger inside and get a little bit on it, and then you just wipe it on and buff it. And after it sits for 24 hours or so, it hardens up really nicely and it protects your pieces. What I will say is that anything that you use on your pieces to seal it is going to wear off over time. Doesn't matter what you use. It all wears off over time, especially not just because it's sitting there, but from wearing. So I do strongly suggest that you include a care card with your work, if you're selling your work, or if you're giving it away, that says, first of all, do not ever clean these pieces with a commercial polisher, like a liquid polisher or anything like that, because if it's patinaed, it will remove the patina. And if it's not, it can dull that silver, because these are not, your tin solder here is not meant to be used with a commercial like silver polish, because it's not silver. I mean, it's silver in color, but it's not actually sterling. So I would suggest buying a bunch of these and either including them with a purchase or selling them for, $1 or whatever, and telling people that they'll need to come back and clean it up every once in a while. Once the sealant or the whatever protectant, polish, etc., that you're using starts to wear off, the solder itself, even the shiny ones, will start to darken naturally because they want to patina themselves. They age. So if they want to stop that process or they want to remove any aging, you want one of these and you want to just go over it. So like I said, I would strongly suggest including like a care card or whatever with everything you do that just says this is how you care for it, because otherwise people have a tendency to think that it's just jewelry, right? So I can use regular jewelry polish on it, and you can't. It won't work. All right, so that is soldering, basic soldering. You've learned all of the parts to create your pieces all the way to completion. So I'm looking forward to seeing pictures in the group of everything that y'all make, because it helps everybody when you post your, even if you think, oh gosh, this is so ugly, it's a total fail. It helps us all see other people's stuff to give us ideas of what not to do or what we're looking for, or, you know, whatever. So make sure you post pictures in the group. If you have questions, make sure you ask questions in the group. Always happy to help. Happy to come back and do another one-on-one live with you if that's something that you need. Just reach out and let me know. But for now, we are finished with Soldering 101, and the next class, Advanced Soldering, will cover a lot more, a lot of different ways to color the solder, different ways to design with tape, all sorts of really cool stuff. So that is coming soon. For now, have a great afternoon or morning or day, and we will see you again soon.